Smell Test Podcast here. Your guy Whiff. How you doing? You been have a good night? Getting off that first couple hours there to work there. Getting ready to move into that lunch hour. Get a couple more hours underneath you there, and then you'll be off to lunch. And then sit down and enjoy something delicious, I hope. So today I wanted to talk about this morning. I wanted to talk about one of the presidential nominees. We'll talk about both of them today. Here, the first one we're gonna talk about is the former vice president, now running for president, Mr. Joe Biden, from Delaware. Apparently he was born in Pennsylvania, Scranton there, but he's now living over there in Delaware. So the thing that we're gonna kind of talk about here is his mental, abilities now, his faculties, what have you, because he's had some struggles there with some of the way he talks to folk out there on the campaign trail, and in some of his speeches and what have you. The big things that I've seen is the thing where he talks about the number of the people who died from the COVID-19 thing here, and he said that at one point there was millions of people who had died. Which that may be worldwide, but it's not in the United States. Ain't a million people. And yesterday he said that there had been almost 200 million people had died from COVID thing there. And there's a problem with that because the country's like got 350 million people or something, somewhere in that number. And he basically said that more than like 2/3 of the people here in the country is dead, which would be pretty big if that many people had died. Like that would be, you would be seeing an awful lot of burials going on, the cremations and what have you. And that's just not the case. Like, you will be having some serious problems if 200 million people had died. But that's not like the only thing he says wrong. Like he said stuff about, talking about, when he's talking about the Pledge of Allegiance, which is like a huge thing, you would think, from a guy who's running for president. He keeps messing up, the Pledge of Allegiance and like the preamble to the Constitution or whatever. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all, the thing. That's what he's saying. It's like, what the thing? What is the thing? It's like that might work here in New York, but I'm not sure that's gonna go over so well here in other parts of the country there where you go, the thing, it's like the thing, it's like, well, give me the thing. What's the thing? And he's talking like that, which is like a little bit weird, like saying that about the Constitution and talking about, people being held equal, endowed by the Creator with certain inalienable rights, which among them is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Like, I'm not, high on the, educated scale, but I even know what that is, you know what I'm saying? And this guy's been around the political scene for how many years? He doesn't know that simple thing there. And then the Pledge of Allegiance, yesterday they were having him talk somewhere, and he was like, I pledge allegiance to the United States of when one nation and indivisible under God, for real. I assume it's for real. I don't know what you're saying about that there. So it's a little bit odd. Some of his phrasing the stuff. It's a little bit peculiar there. So my thing here about the vice president is he is not like he hasn't done this before. So the guy is not has never been particularly eloquent, and said things that were like, he's always had those gaffes where he said stuff. I think the big issue I'm seeing here is that his ability to like construct the sentence is really starting to lack. He's losing track of numbers, losing track of even, what role he's, pursuing, because at one point, not that long ago, he said that he was running for the Senate, and he's not running for the Senate, I promise you. He's trying to run for the president. At least that's what he keeps telling us. If he's running for a different job, he needs to clarify. But, I think that the problem here for the vice president is that, the guy is 78 years old, I think. 78 years old, and there's a lot of 78-year-old people that are up there in age that they're just having the challenges with their mind. That just happens for a lot of people. Unfortunately, they have what they call it. They have like kind of sundowning type thing. I heard the word the other day, sundowning, and I guess you could call it like sundowning, where your mental faculties aren't there quite the same anymore. And I think that's the problem Mr. Biden, the vice president, there is going through. And I think that's sad. I guess one of the things that really kind of irritates me is I feel like he probably is being pushed to do this. And I don't know why they don't just name somebody else, to run for it, because it's going to affect their vote to some degree. I can't imagine you're going to have a lot of people wanting to vote. I guess you have to compare it to the other guy, right, to the Trump guy, but you got to go, who can, at least put a sentence together and tell, what he's trying to accomplish. And, when Mr. Biden, Vice President Biden, they're having the problems with putting a sentence together and making it, make sense, it's going to be a problem for him. And it's a developing problem over time, because he's going to be debating the president next week here. And I certainly wonder how that's going to go. We shall see. But I guess what I really think is that they shouldn't be putting him out there, probably because of his mental faculties. I also think we have to remember that he probably has always had these problems to some degree. He's never been like a really super good speaker. And he also has the issue of having had brain surgery. I don't know if you guys all know that or not, but Vice President Biden has had a number of brain operations. I think he's had 2 brain operations or what have you, and I don't know specifically what his problems were there, but having any kind of a brain surgery could potentially affect your mind long term, and he's got some challenges going there with his brain. And we're gonna put some audio things here. I think it'll probably be at the end here, but you're gonna hear kind of where he's at mentally, and some of the things he's made the mistakes of saying. I don't think we're going to play things that are super old, because there ain't no reason to play it from years ago. Let's just kind of focus on now, because this is the important time, when he's running. And anything, that kind of shows his challenges with talking. And we should really seriously be considering if you want to put this guy in office, because, he's going to have to deal with world leaders and interact with them and whatnot. And if he can't construct the proper sentence, he could, probably, acknowledge them incorrectly, and call Putin, Chi or Chi Putin or whoever, you know what I mean? And that should be a concern, because while you and me may not be affected by him saying, the wrong name to the person, they may be very offended if they don't like that person he, mispronounces them as. So we gotta be aware of the potential problems that could happen as a result of him talking to them. And really, it's just a question of, why are you going to put this man out there when he's having the problems he's having with his mind, and he can't, put a sentence together, and he can't remember basic things that he should have had sort of grilled into his head since the time he was a kid, a toddler or what have you, in grade school. He should know the Pledge of Allegiance pretty, like offhandedly, like I haven't said it in probably, well, I probably have, but it's not like it's something I say every day. But I don't work in Congress or whatever, or government, so it's not like I couldn't remember. He shouldn't be able to remember it. He should definitely be able to remember it, right? So saying stuff like, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. It's very important. That's the side part there. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And even I can say that. So when a fella like this who can't put that together, it should be a concern when that's such a simple thing. There's far more complicated, complex things he'll be saying out there, talking to people, leaders and what have you. And for him to have those problems should be something we should be concerned about. So I hope people are really seriously considering if this guy is really capable of handling it. We'll talk about Trump and the perspective on him, but the thing about Biden is his mind, in my opinion. There's a lot of politicians change their minds and their opinions like the shorts. So I'm not going to say that he's any different from Trump on changing opinions about things, because they both change their opinions. But his mind is the one I'm the most concerned about. And he's not going out and having rallies with people. He's staying away from them, which kind of makes him seem a little scared. And so I wonder if his mind is right, if he can't be around people and focus. It should be something we should be concerned about. So just think about it. Like I said, we're going to put some stuff in here at the end with some of the problems Joe Biden, the vice president there, has had with talking and what have you. And you can kind of hear for yourself and, really think about, is this guy, comparing to Trump, I'll talk about Trump later today, and his abrasiveness, his people keep calling it, and but look at both of them and see which one do you think is going to be worthy of voting for. And while it should be based on policy, right, and what they're going to do for the country, you also have to worry about how they're going to interact with the rest of the world and how they're really going to talk to people, not just the people overseas, but especially the people here in this country. And we talk about their policies at some point, but I'm just talking right now about a basic thing like their attitude and, the mental capacity. And I think we should worry about the vice president there. I'm going to say that his mental faculties do not pass the smell test. There's something off there, and we need to do a deeper investigation to make sure he's really capable of handling this kind of a position. He could be taking drugs not like illegal, but like drugs to help his mind. He could be taking drugs that for other health conditions affecting his memory there. And we need to make sure that his mind can hold up, to the rigors. He hasn't even gotten in the office and he's already having the problems talking. So we need to make sure his mind can hold up to the rigors when he actually gets in the office. Right now, he's coming out once a day for like 10 to 15 minutes most of the time, maybe a half hour. But he's, just talking a little bit and then he disappears and we know nothing else about him. So there's some things we should be concerned about, I think. And I don't think his mental faculties passed the smell test right now. They smell a little off. And I think we should really take a deeper dive and see what's going on with the vice president there. So check out this clip coming up here, the audio with some of the goofies, the gaffes there that Vice President Biden has had, some of his blooper reel, I guess you could call it. And think about it, talk about it with your buddies and your pals there at work and what have you. And feel free to leave your comments there in the box below, the comment box there, wherever you're at on the YouTube, the iTunes, the Google, the Facebook, what have you. And come on back. Or you can leave a voice message there on the hotline at 505-585-0500. Again, that's 505-585-0500. And, I'll put it on the air if you call before, what is it? Is it that for 3 p.m. Eastern Standard there. I get a call for 3 p.m. New York time. Then we'll get that in there recording into the episode for later today, and we'll do that there. So you have a great rest of the morning. Enjoy your lunchtime, and listen on here for this bit from these bloopers here from Vice President Biden. Yeah, and we'll talk to you later on this afternoon, and God bless you all.
Hey, everyone. I'm Joe Biden's husband.
We choose truth over facts. Well, folks, eliminate one tax loophole out of $1.6 trillion worth. $1.4 trillion worth. Out of $1.4 trillion. It's hard to even say it so much. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts.
Nobody should be in jail for a nonviolent crime.
What's not to like about Vermont in terms of the beauty of it? And what a neat town.
Legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. And by the way, it cost a lot of money. It cost about $740 billion over 10 years.
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it.
If Donald Trump has his way, the complications from COVID-19, which are well beyond what they should be, it's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk. I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental, my physical as well as my mental fitness. Think about it. We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by go. You know the thing. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, one nation, indivisible, under God, for real. My name is Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Look at my record.